We just cover local sports, high school stuff, and we do a lot of college stuff too. And we definitely appreciate y'all spending some time with us. And we're just gonna watch the college selection show here, and gonna see how this goes. So right now, while there's a commercial on, let's talk about because they're gonna be doing a few things on and off here.
Oh yeah,
and,
we won't get to the New Year's Six and
it'll be a little while.
It'll be a little bit.
Let's talk about some local stuff, Dean. Now we got to go to a couple of games.
Yeah, good. Saw one real good.
Let's work backwards here from scores.
Okay.
7A Thompson goes off and holds. Let me do this right here while we're doing that. 7A Thompson goes on, wins them again, Dean. 38-22 over Central Phoenix. Central Phoenix is high flying, scoring offense. Of course, it's Bo Nick's little brother and his dad coaches. I watched the game. I just they just kind of couldn't get nothing going. Nick's missed a few passes here and there. Missed some guys that were kind of wide open on some plays, and
Thompson's pretty special.
Nick's missed a few. There we go. Just checking here online. Clay Chalkville. Now, we'd watched them play. I watched them play online. Bo and Reggie and Josh and them was at that game. They went up. I watched them play.
46-34.
They played Mountain Brook to get in.
No, 46-42.
Man, that was a great game there just to get on down there. Clay Chalkville winds up playing Hueytown 46-42. Like I said, that was a very close game. Pike Road and Pleasant Grove, we had heard a lot of big things about Pleasant Grove. Heard they were just going to dominate this Pike Road team at 5A.
Other way around.
51-14.
Oh, gosh, I did not realize that was that bad. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'd had people tell me Pike Road would probably win that. I mean, that Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, I know.
Because I said something about Alexandria.
We'd heard that a lot. So
No, Pleasant Grove easy.
Now, Viger, the 4A, now I did get to watch that one. Viger, you'd cover that game. They played Cherokee County. And you said, hey, these guys are hard hitters. Yeah. They're going to make a run at this.
They run in there. Then I don't know that they ran wild, but their quarterback threw for 200 yards. Anthony Mix, you saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw a lot of deep balls. He looked good.
They played well. He runs the ball good. They're really good up front. Viger, I hate using our local references like Fife and that kind of stuff. That's how we see a lot. Man, they don't miss tackles. Viger tackles. No. They kind of look like how Paul coaches. They team tackle. A great big time game.
First half was good.
It was. They just couldn't get it going. Turnover here or there. Now 3A, that's the big game that we cover here closer to us, Piedmont, and we're here in Cherokee County. Coach Steve Smith, know him very closely. Coach Blanchard, know him very well. 35-33 final, but 4 of those points by Montgomery Academy, and after the second half. Yeah. Were from safeties from Piedmont running out of the back on the punt to keep them from getting the ball when they had to punt to them anyway. It's 29-6, and I text Dean at halftime, and he's like, that's Steve. James and them adjust. They'll win this during the game. I called Marcus. I was a little worried, and he says, Daddy, that's
To be honest with you, though, when I saw 29-6, somebody had texted me and told me the score, but they said it was late third, and I'm like, well, they're done.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But then you text me back, I think, and said 29-6 halftime, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I'm at school there, and I checked the score 30 minutes later, and it's 29-27.
Well, they come out, and Piedmont just takes the ball. They got the ball, so they go right down the field and score. Kick back to Academy, punt, get the ball, go down and score. 4 and out. They get the ball again, go down and score. I mean, but really, if you're watching it openly, now looking back, kind of like, with the Auburn-Alabama game maybe, looking back after the game, you could see where the things were. Right. Montgomery Academy was kind of lucky to be in it with a block punt and stuff like that. A little quirky, weird stuff that kind of went on.
Big 6, too.
Yeah, they picked it and then scored. I think they got the ball down the 10 or something. They scored right on the next play. But you could tell Piedmont was the better team. And then after halftime, when they jumped on with 2 quick scores, Coach Smith and Coach Blanchard, Academy just kind of, they froze up a little. They did.
Well, Academy only had 242 yards off.
What did Piedmont have all day through the day?
316.
Yeah, that's
193 rush. That's what, according to what I saw, the stats, 193 rush and 123 pass. And of course, he threw 2 or 3 touchdowns. three. They won the running back, Foster, and Estes.
And of course, Estes, fantastic player. We get to elaborate, talk with his mom and dad there, and it looks like they're going on ahead here, Dean. And we'll get 2A and 1A. So let's pause for a minute on the high school. This is it, guys. It looks like we got
Ohio State 6.
Notre Dame 5.
I agree with that. Notre Dame has only lost 1. Ohio State's lost 2. I think Ole Miss is going to have to be that 7, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll get a good bowl.
They're going to put them 2 in the bowl, though.
You think they're going to put some people? I heard one guy thinking they're going to put Michigan 1. I don't understand how you do that. Marty McGee, and I love your show, guys. I really do. Hashtag ESPN, Fox. SEC Network. I'm sorry.
I think you have to put.
Why would you put? If you just beat number 1, then you would be number 1.
They may.
Here's 4 coming up. We'd assume it'd probably Cincinnati. Yes.
So we may see an Alabama Georgia rematch in the first round. We may not.
No.
If we're going by what he heard.
Yeah, that's just his opinion. Because nobody knows till they type it in right now. I'd say Bama would be 1.
Todd McShay said it, yeah. And that's good. They should have got in. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
I agree with it, 100%.
I do.
This has been the least amount of argument I've heard in years. Now, the season may cause some arguments. Just depends on what they do. We're fixing to find out. But I do like the Notre Dame Ohio State matchup. If that is the matchup they're going to do.
Yeah, they will. They'll be I got it wrote down somewhere on one of these Orange Bowls or how these work out, these bowls. Right there they are.
3's got to be Georgia. The 1 and 2 is going to be the.
They may put Georgia 2, but they lost worsely than we thought they would. Because we wouldn't believe us, guys. We're Alabama fans, and we thought the offensive line play by Bama has just not been very good. So we kind of figured Bama may not have.
I just thought young.
He was the difference. The offensive line blocked their butts off, and we had a running game. We went over 100 yards.
Yeah. But he was just unstoppable.
There they are. Georgia 3. Okay.
Cincinnati's going to play
Michigan.
They're no weird. It's 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, right?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they'll play. We assume Georgia will play Michigan. I'm telling you now, Michigan looked pretty good last night.
Great.
And I know Iowa's not. They're not a world beater. I know.
Mm-hmm. No, but they're not bad.
Well, they play good ball up front. They run the ball. Haskins is going to be sitting beside Bryce Young up there in New York next week.
Who else going?
We don't know.
Haskins and Young.
Yeah.
I think Young sealed his Heisman yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
I think anybody would agree with that.
Away from what Alabama did, but you wonder as those two teams took the field, one team's playing for their life, and that's Nick Saban. Hearing about how they didn't have a chance. The other team knew if they lost, they're going to be at 2 or 3. I wonder if that played into the emotions of the game. I mean, if Bama won the game, they outplayed them.
No, I think Georgia definitely wanted to win. They don't want Alabama in this thing.
Georgia's 15 to get in without the win over.
Case for number 1. Strength of schedule 4. Strength of rank 1 and 2. Strength of schedule 4 and strength of schedule 21. Guys, wouldn't you think Michigan would be 2? Why would they put them 1?
I wouldn't think.
And they're 9-1 with FPI top 40 wins. 9-1 versus 5-1. There's no way Michigan's won. There's just no way.
I'll be shocked. The committee has done odder things.
I don't think they want to see Georgia Alabama first.
No.
We want to see the other two battle it out and see who if Bama and Georgia can make it to play each other again.
I didn't know Alabama's strength of schedule was 4.
Yeah, this the 9-1, the top 40 teams.
Oh, okay, 9-1 against top 40.
Yes,
Michigan is trending in a direction.
they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of them.
They're Harbaugh's got them moving up.
And more confidence. Wherever they end up, Michigan is a dangerous team in this group.
I agree. I told somebody that yesterday. I said they're flying under the radar. Everybody's talking about Alabama, Cincinnati, Georgia. Alabama, Cincinnati, Georgia.
3 yards, dust.
Nobody said nothing about Michigan.
They're the bigger, stronger team.
I remember another year where there was a team not said much about. You want to know what year that was?
Yeah.
Ohio State.
The years they had Zeke, maybe. The year they beat it. No,
They're number 4.
they just showed up and beat our tail.
Alabama won.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
thought.
Yeah, I mean you can't you can't deny that.
You got an Alabama.
Okay, so here's your bowls again. Title games January 10th, by the way, be on a Monday, be in Miami. So your other 2 games, Dean, are going to be Orange Bowl December 31st, and Cotton Bowl will be December 31st on a Friday. That's Cotton and Orange be Miami, and of course the Cotton Bowl is in Arlington. So I would assume, ma'am. This. All right, let's assume this. We're going to say Bama plays Cincinnati in the Orange Bowl, December 31st. Orange Bowl, Bama, Cincinnati. I'm just assuming this, guys. Now, I don't know this. Just because of they're 1, and then 2 and 3 will play the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, which will be Georgia and Michigan.
December 31st. That is on the 8th.
Was that right? I did. Yeah, no, I got them backwards. That's okay. Cotton Bowl.
Friday.
Yeah, Cotton Bowl will be in Arlington, Texas, December 31st on Friday. Then Orange Bowl will be your Michigan and Georgia. So there you go. You got it live right here.
I got the time set up yet. Alabama and Cincinnati.
Probably that night. Probably a Friday night game.
Oh,
It says don't give it time. I bet it'd be at 7. It'd be a Friday night game. Well, one will play at
3, another play at 7.
2. Yeah, probably.
I kind of like a state championship.
3 o'clock and a 7.
3 and 7. Yeah.
I just look at it. I don't know how you guys.
I like O'Galloway. You like him?
Yeah, I do. I think
he's
he's very intelligent.
Pretty level-headed. He always gives a good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a great football player, too.
Yes, he was.
Played at Ohio State, but he don't seem to be biased towards
Not really. Herb Street kind of, but not really.
But Pollock's not biased towards Georgia.
Not really. He's a
Good crew. Jesse Palmer.
they're SEC. And you got 2 SEC guys and 3 SEC guys. He didn't. Galloway. He played at Florida.
Pollock played at Georgia.
No,
Palmer
Callaway.
played at Florida.
Yeah, I'm about the other. Callaway.
He played at
Ohio State. So them 2's Ohio State, and you got Georgia and Florida, and then Reese, which graduated from Alabama.
Oh, did
He's
he
Alabama
really?
graduate. Yeah.
I did not know that. I cannot believe I didn't know that, but I did not.
Let's see what old Pollock says.
You go to Miami, you go to South Beach, plenty of opportunities for kids to go and possibly get in trouble and go enjoy.
What we got on here?
Texas,
Yeah, Roll Tide. That's we thought they'd be 1, being 12-1.
That's a good spot.
You've 1, 2, and 3.
You want it.
You 12-1 teams are 1, 2, 3.
You don't want to be playing Michigan first and then have to go play in the national championship. That's a tough road.
I'm curious what they think about the matchup, Cincinnati and Alabama.
I don't want to say this. I know Alabama's going to be the favorite, but I think it'll probably be a little better than people think. I don't think it's going to be 50-7.
Styles make fights.
Yes, styles make fights.
Michigan and Georgia, and then Cincinnati can match up in the secondary. I mean, I think.
Yeah, with Nietzsche not playing Cincinnati.
He done?
Oh yeah, he's tore. He's
See,
tore.
that hurt him yesterday.
Yeah.
If you noticed, the yardage went way down in the second half. Of course, they didn't throw it as much, but he had trouble throwing.
Well, they were
have that target.
They were so far ahead. I don't think they were trying to stretch the field.
Right.
But Williams, now he's going to be in. I mean, he's.
A lot of incentive.
Well, what you do is you just double team him and let Brooks or Bolton or somebody else do it. And they may do it.
Well, at this point now,
I noticed Billingsley's starting to come on too. You notice that?
Yeah, he's been good.
someone else beat us. But you can contain him, and now all of a sudden there's going to have to be other bodies in that
Steve, that's what he's saying right now.
Freshman's made a lot of plays here late in the season. Holding it in the slot, these guys are going to have to make more plays to step up for Bryce Young. But guys, I love the Cincinnati defense, not just because of the X's and O's in the NFL talent, but that scheme too. That 3-3-5 scheme is something that Bama sees a bit of it from Ole Miss and Arkansas. They don't see a ton of it in the SEC. I think that's
Defense scheme, Cincinnati, 3-3-5.
Well, I would agree that I think the game's going to be a little tough for people to anticipate.
That's going to open up the run game, and Robinson looked healthy. So with 3 weeks to prepare for that, December 31st, guys.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to be Cotton Bowl. You're going to have Cotton, B-A-M-A, Bama, and Cincinnati, and the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's going to be Georgia and Michigan.
Cotton, orange. I want to
Yeah,
see these other matchups.
Well, your January 1st bowl is your Sugar, of course. That's going to be an SEC team, which I think will be Ole Miss. Will play a Big 12 team like you runner-up.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State and Ole Miss. But we're just guessing now.
Or
We don't
it'll
know.
be Baylor. It'll be Baylor and Ole Miss, right?
That'd be a good game.
So there's that.
This committee chairman's here, so what he says.
Better job this year.
Let's see what he's thinking.
Weeks in a row now, looking great against Ohio State and then against Iowa. But at the end of the day, the complete victory over Georgia, the committee came out of there with a strong consensus that Alabama was 1 and Michigan was 2. Okay, I was going to that, but I think you pretty much answered it about being a strong consensus.
The score for Bama kind of did the
Something that I just
Rose Bowl
Yeah, if
beat.
it'd been 31-30,
Yeah.
they might have jumped Michigan.
Um,
One. I don't know.
Rose Bowl. Looking at Big Ten and versus a Pac-12 team, so probably
Utah and
Utah in those 5-6, which was Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah, so Ohio State and Notre Dame will not.
That's who I wrote down, just by guess. No, I was just
It had to
guessing.
be Ohio State.
I had Ohio State and Utah. We think. What about Fiesta Bowl at large teams and Peach Bowl is an at large team?
They're just going to stick forward.
I had wrote down Michigan State for Fiesta versus Notre Dame. That may turn out to be, well, it's an at large teams.
Who's in the top 10? Who's you got? You got.
I think they'll go back through that in a minute. We'll start going down.
Will Ole Miss go to the Sugar Bowl? They're the third team in the conference, right?
I would say Ole Miss plays Baylor.
I would think it's got to be. How could it not be?
in the top 4 did last week anyway.
Did you say it was Big SEC versus Big 12?
Yes, that's
Big 12
that's
champ.
the Sugar, yeah. Well, Big 12 champ is Baylor.
Baylor?
Yeah. I would assume Ole Miss and Baylor.
I'd say Texas A&M.
There,
Did a good bowl.
there's no nobody's.
Kentucky's probably gonna get a good bowl.
Well, the SEC team I think made it except Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
That's amazing for our conference guys. You Big Ten watchers or whatever. Not a knock against you guys, but
I would also say Iowa, Wisconsin get a good bowl. Wake Forest will get a good bowl. Clemson will probably get a good bowl.
well, they're Clemson.
Yeah,
They'll play a bowl game. I don't think they ain't even.
I'm anxious to see these matchups. Very anxious.
Yeah, we'll go through some of them. Our
Hey, Brent Venables, new coach at Oklahoma. Wow.
Oklahoma
Good
hopes to hire Venables.
Oh, I thought they did.
No, it says hopes.
Oh. He's like, nah, I don't want it.
I heard him talking about it this morning on SEC podcast. Ole Miss OC Jeff Lebby is expected to be Venables' top choices for OC. Wow.
There's not a ton of unbelievable teams this year. I'd say Oregon gets a good bowl. Kentucky, Texas A&M, Iowa, Wisconsin, maybe.
I like to say Oklahoma State. Still,
Oklahoma State
they lost,
get a good
but
bowl.
I still like to see them.
I got a feeling they might match him in Texas A&M. I don't know their criteria for the bowls, but
Some of
I'd like
these-
to see that match.
Well, the last two, Fiesta and Peach,
Oklahoma's going to get a good bowl.
Fiesta and Peach are at-large teams, and I wrote down like a Big Ten. Notre Dame's going to get in there. They're going to fit
Yeah.
in there somewhere
Yeah, they'll
before anybody.
Yeah, well, because they're 5. But Ohio State has to go.
What if they put Notre? Well, it's not a. I'm sorry.
I'm going to guess that they match
Well,
up Notre Dame.
The Rose Bowl is a Big Ten, Pac-12. Notre Dame ain't they've had
I'm going to guess they match up Notre Dame, and I'm just guessing, Notre Dame and Oregon. What do you think?
Ohio State and Utah, and then
Ohio State.
Notre Dame and Oregon might get another bowl. But the Rose Bowl is going to be Big Ten, Pac-12.
Yeah.
Pac-12 champ for sure. So Utah's in the Rose Bowl. We could assume that for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, that's obvious. And then Ohio State.
Yeah,
Got to be.
yeah.
Unless they just want to make them. No, they're already locked in. That's a done deal. That's always. The Rose Bowl's always.
Yeah.
It can't be Michigan, obviously.
No.
Michigan State's going to get a good bowl.
Now, kicking off the game, the bowls in general, guys, December 17th will be your first kickoff bowl, be in Nassau, Bahamas. There's a Conference USA versus a MAC. And the MAC was the Kent State wins. I didn't even see a final on that.
I think Miami, Ohio might have won at 48-47.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me look.
And then Conference USA.
Did UAB get him involved? All right, I might see the rest of it. We kind of knew that.
Okay. Well, they do this just to kill the stream thing to make sure we kick it on and off a little bit. Okay. Let's talk about
Kent State won 48-47.
Okay, well there you go. That may be that may go to Bahamas, to a beautiful vacation spot. Let's carry back on. Now we were at the 2A game, Cleveland and Clark County.
Oh wow!
Clark County winds up winning that one, a close one, 49-41. We felt like Cleveland played a good game, and these guys were shooting it out.
Oh man, their quarterback's great.
They shot it out and shot it back and forth and back and forth. Washburn's fantastic. We think he's one of the best QBs besides Jack. I mean, Jack's like.
Yeah.
Jack's like he's up here on the shelf, and then
This
you have.
guy's awesome.
But Washburn is fantastic.
Oh, and I told you wrong. I said he had 450 yards of offense. He only had 400.
Well, okay. What do you think about that game? I mean, we was there.
I thought it was great, but just their run game, Clark County's run game, just
Johnson.
what's the difference? Was it Ezell, Johnson,
Robinson.
Said they rushed for 280 yards, but number 2, the receiver, Mar Johnson, he had 88-yard interception return plus his 2 touchdown catches on fade routes were big, were they not?
Yes.
I mean, he got player of the game. But I think the running game was just too much. And I'll be honest with you, you know why I think Clark County won? Because they got the ball first.
How did that even happen? How does that go on? Go ahead.
Because they got the ball first.
Yeah.
I mean, they went up 7-0 first play of the game, and then it was just back and forth the whole game. And then obviously the pick 6 was the play of the game. And you know that Washburn boy played unbelievable all day, and for some reason on that.
This is just not going. Sorry, keep going.
And for some reason on that play, we thought
when you go live.
It was a little odd, was it not? The play he threw the interception. I mean, he didn't do nothing wrong all day, and he just flips a little pass out there, kind of just floats it. Well, they were fixing to score.
This is what happens when you go live. You have things going on that you've never done before, and you're trying to fix the lights and all that. And
But would you agree? I mean, that was the only bad play he made all day, and we don't really need to know why he did that.
yeah, and we're talking about Clark County. Now, why would it do that? No idea.
But they're what, were they on the 8-yard line? 10, 15?
They were good, man. I mean, Clark County.
I'm not talking about Cleveland when they drove down and fixed the score, and he just kind of flipped that pass out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw it right to him.
It was very, and we were talking about it there at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ragsdale and Coach Howard, and I mean, they contained this team, guys.
Well, they not taking nothing away from
they had a great game plan.
Cleveland or Springboard, and they did. I mean, this bunch, 497 yards, man. They gained 497 yards in the state championship game.
Hats off to Cleveland. They lost. We were pulling for them. Now, 1A, I was there, watched that game. It was interesting for a half. Sweetwater and Wadley, final score winds up being 40-16. Sweetwater, of course. Let me say right off the top of the bat, these 1A South teams are just unbeatable. I don't know of a North 1A team that's. When's the last time a North won?
I can't think. Pickens, probably. I guess they're considered North.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, it's down there past Tuscaloosa. So, I know Addison won it one year. It's not a lot.
It's Sweetwater Maplesville just kind of, they run 1A, and nobody really has a chance. So, all you 1A coaches in the North, if you're watching, you're going to have to play to a level to try to beat Sweetwater Maplesville. That's the guys you're going to have to. You got to start the year off competing with those types of teams to be.
Now, you said Wadley played a Madden with them, didn't you?
For a half.
Right.
Now the refs didn't help Wadley at all. There was a couple of plays.
Big play.
Big pass play. The kid catches it down there, and they said, I don't know. It's yeah, on the other side of it had nothing to do with what was going on. I didn't like it.
They said that was actually ended Wadley. I mean, they said they were still in it, and if they made that play, they could have been in it.
Yeah.
But after that, that was just kind of.
So, and we'll say, you know, it was good. Weather was great. We'll say that too for both days. Yeah. Fantastic. So all your AHSA Super 7 champs, it kind of brings the high school year to ending. It's kind of good, you know, and we're moving on. We're going to do some basketball now, start getting to that a little bit more. And
football kind of wears us out a little bit.
Yeah, and this is getting fired up, so we're definitely going to be covering all your college stuff. We'll move into college, Dean, with Cincinnati and Houston. Cincinnati pulls out 135-20. They're AAC champs, Dean. They're 13-0. We just seen them. They're going to be ranked 4. Ryder, 11 for 17, 190 with 3 touchdowns, and Ford rushed for 187.
Ford's tough. Jerome Ford.
So Will Anderson, Harris.
Mm-hmm. Toa. Let me see how many.
Yeah, Bill.
Helms is a good player.
So they're going to have their hands full trying to tackle this young guy. Now, Pac-12 champs is Utah. They beat Oregon again. This time,
it wasn't even close.
38-10. Oregon winds up 221 total. They passed for about 150 and run for about 75 yards.
221 total.
Yeah. Utah hit them for 361. Rising was 170 for touchdown. He threw 2 picks though, and they rushed for almost 200 yards. Utah did so.
Helms made 9 tackles yesterday.
Yeah,
and an interception.
That's big game there.
Big game.
We'll give a Baylor score real quick. 21-16. That was a fantastic game. Oklahoma State. Sanders hit those 4 picks, Dean. I mean, you're not going to win the championship games.
You know, they were on the 6-yard line for about 6 plays.
Had 70 yards rushing.
6 plays from the 6-yard line, and they come up inches short.
And their tailback, bless his heart, like 5th-year senior, come back to play another year, try to win the conference, and tried to win it. And I wished he just could have stiff-armed that guy. And
if he'd stretched out, which I guess he did stretch out as hard as he could, and it came like this is the goal line.
He was close.
Right there.
If he just would have pushed the guy, I mean, hindsight's 2020. They had a good run this year at it. They picked up the slack where Oklahoma fell off as usual. Now Baylor's sharpened 23 for 28, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. They only rushed for 62 yards, so that's kind of all that for that. There's their bowl games and stuff.
What about
look at that?
Well, let's talk about of course, Michigan dominated.
Yeah, break it down for
I mean, it was just a beatdown.
Yeah,
Haskins, McNamara, they're running back to a 75-yard touchdown pass. Their backup running back. It was 42-3.
Yeah, let's see what he's got to say. We're talking about Michigan. I'll be darned if I just didn't mash the wrong button.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
They played good. Michigan's going to be somebody for Georgia to have to deal with.
I thought Michigan looked very good on defense. And I go on to say this, and we talk a lot about ball, but if Georgia's going to win this, and tell me if you agree with this, I've come up with this theory, and he's going to have to do what Saban did. He's going to have to make a quarterback change. I think Daniels needs to be the man in this.
Like it matters. Neither one of them are national championship winners.
But I do think Daniels is better than them.
I don't think it's a big difference. I know on
I think he can throw better.
Stat-wise stuff, and I don't know. Obviously, the coaches think different because they ain't played him. I mean, not at all. He let him play a little bit against Tech, but didn't ever let him throw it any. So
I don't know what's going on there. You know, he come in last year and went 4-0. He's 7-0 at Georgia as a quarterback. And it's thrown for, 1,900 yards. But unlike you,
there's more to it than what we know.
And he may still be hurt.
First college football playoff appearance by Jim Harbaugh. He plays the Colts 3 or 4 years. Good player.
He's a fighter. Had good teams for the 49ers. Nearly won a Super Bowl. Corum had a good game. Haskins and Corum. Let's see how many yards Michigan had.
Let's see what he said there. Oh, God.
You're one of the only ones out there that thought we'd be any good at the beginning of the season. What did you see?
I thought you looked tough. You looked disciplined. I thought you could.
First outright title for Michigan since 2003.
Wow.
It's 18 years.
So that may be an analyst now on your staff?
Jim, congratulations on a great year. I know there's more still ahead.
461 yards.
Yeah, let's see who we got there talking.
Seems to be off the charts. Can you talk a little bit about the team and the togetherness that this unit seems to have?
Yeah, sure can. They enjoy being around each other. Every time we come out here to the practice field or in the weight room, just bouncing the step, a smile on their face.
Yeah, the matchup guys. We're talking about how Georgia and Alabama game. It's kind of like boxing. I've heard some friends say football you can kind of equate it to boxing, just kind of how guys match up. Guys, they just match up.
Well, I'm going to say this.
And we started out slow first quarter.
Was just a difference.
First quarter, little,
down 10-0.
We kind of got a little sloppy there, and
Williams, my gosh, 7 catches, 184 yards. Bryce Young, 26 for 44 for 421.
421, which beats Mac Jones' record from last year's SEC title game, setting a new record. Another record. That's 2 Alabama quarterbacks in a row to break a record for an SEC championship game. 421.
He's got 4,322 yards passing that.
It's wild.
43-22. I mean,
we figured he'd be good coming in, but we didn't think Heisman. We didn't. Me and you didn't. We didn't pick him for Heisman.
He's going to throw for, more than likely, throw for 5,000.
We had him picked to probably make a trip to New York. We did. Mm-hmm. But who picked him? There was a lot of people out there that said, "Oh, he's Heisman. He's the best quarterback."
I didn't agree, but now I do.
Yeah. Well, I just needed. It wasn't that we didn't. It's not that we disagree with our viewers and some of them. Right. I just need to see more. I was a little doubting Thomas.
Well, his stats now are just so ridiculous. 43-22. He's thrown 43 touchdowns. I mean, he's getting up there in the likes of, and I don't know if anybody will ever pass Joe Burrow's stats for a 15-game season. Oh. He's going to get close, and he's probably going to pass Mac Jones. Mac Jones threw for 4,700 last year.
Yeah, he should pass him in the next game.
Not 47. I don't know. He averaged more yards per game. But no, let's just look right here.
Coming up next, Kirby Smart's going to be talking about his playoff selection. I'm sure Kirby's happy with where they're at to get to play Coach Harbaugh. That he's turned it around. He's been on the hot seat probably for 2 or 3 years up there. So Kirby's excited about that. He said this was a gut check time for them, the way Alabama lost A&M, and it's just time to decide what you want to do.
Jones threw for 4,500. So with the next ball game, Young, which now I will say this about Alabama, Jones is not going to play in as many games, but he will pass Mac Jones.
The only team this season not to trail by double digits in a game.
They should be 13-0. I mean, I flipped the Michigan State game off. They're up 30-14 with 8 minutes left.
49ers favor over the Seahawks by 3 later on today.
Dang it, there's a 52% chance of rain.
Oh, yeah, it's going to rain. Tomorrow for sure. So, y'all, here's a tip for the day, and this is why you hit the subscribe button. Carry your umbrella with you tomorrow. About 9 or 10 in the morning, it's going to rain for a couple of hours.
Really? It hasn't been raining much lately.
Georgia allowing 9.6. Well, what else is new?
Georgia 536 yards Alabama game. Let's see what Kirby said here.
See what Kirby says.
We hear that a lot. How do you accomplish that?
You accomplish it with great leadership, which this team, sitting here listening to Jim speak about his team. It's
second college football playoff since 2018. He feels confident about his team, the leadership of the team, what he's talking about. I do too.
Well, I know Georgia fans are disappointed today, but you're definitely not out of it.
No, no.
You have a good chance to win this as anybody in it.
So when you have an opportunity like this one against a huge name brand like Michigan. How does it help the team bounce back from the disappointment?
Well, I think preparation's the key there. We got a lot of things we got to shore up, a lot of things we got to work on. Got a lot of respect for Jim in Michigan. He mentioned Coach Green, who's got to be a good friend.
Dude, they're not worried about Alabama. Not right now. I mean, they can't be. They got a tough game.
Hearing their guys talk just tells you a lot about who they are and what they're about.
Hey, Kirby, obviously it's disappointing to step back, but now you're still in this playoff. What do you learn from that game? I know it's fresh, but what do you learn from that game to help you move forward to get ready for the first season?
Well, you learned the defensive line might not be as good as you thought it was.
Category, not winning red zone. If you told me the stat line would read, if you didn't win the red zone battle, didn't win the third down battle, didn't get a sack, and we
They didn't have a sack all day.
So you have to dig into those details and say, why did that happen? That's something we got to work on.
So when you look at the schedule,
Chapman for the pick six. Obviously, I think the score was more like a 34-24, 34-27. 37-27, something like that. Alabama about 10 points better yesterday.
Need a little time. We'll get some practices in prior to Christmas, and then we'll have a little break, and we'll come back ready to go.
there's a sense that when a team has a season like you had, a terrific season, dominant the way it was, and then you have a loss at the end, then you have some time. I have a feel like you guys will be a more dangerous football team now because of those issues that you had in this game, the SEC championship.
Could motivate them.
No, it did Alabama. The win at Auburn, the way they had to win in 4 overtimes, obviously that made a difference.
Well, look at the year Alabama lost to Auburn and got in barely and then won.
Yeah. 29.8 point margin per game.
This is the guy, though. This was the difference.
That play right there. I mean, you want to talk about that play there? Just pulls the ball down and reads it and finds some space upfield to run the ball. And that's where he can make. Now he can
He throws so far. And then Williams is excellent.
He makes a quick release. Bryce's ball coming off his hand is quick. We knew that, before. But let me say this about Bryce too. His involvement, Dean, from the game that we're just watching him play right there to the first game when they played New Mexico States or some of the other teams.
Yeah, that looked okay. Yeah,
and we thought, well, they played those little crappy teams, and maybe he didn't have to do a lot, and he just was not going to run the ball. And the ball he would hold it to his side a little too long. Remember, we used to critique him on some stuff.
Right.
Hey, he ain't doing that no more. He hadn't in the past month.
I was telling somebody yesterday, I'm like, you don't want the passing down with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bama would run the ball, and they would hit him for a loss. And they'd be like, well, why are they excited? Because now he gets the pass. He's deadly. Deadly. I got Nick.
Looks sleepy.
Like, I ain't never been here before. What is it?
When someone doesn't believe in a team and your team responded to that.
Well, they just never been the underdog in any of these games. He hadn't had to coach that, but it's great poison, as Nick said. It was yummy rat poison that you were feeding them, saying they're just not good enough to beat them. The guys are going, oh well, you just wait and see.
See, now the poison turns around and is on Georgia.
They ain't good enough. I don't know if they. Well, yeah, well, no, it's going to be the poison other way. Or are you saying they're going to say, Georgia's got this? Look, this loss is going to motivate them. They're going to win.
Well, it could be either way. I think they'll count them out.
So far, that's what they've been saying. No, Georgia's snake bit. They're ready. They're fired up.
Mm-hmm.
But Dane, let me talk about their 99 on Georgia defense. Nose tackle.
Yeah.
He was picked to be in a Heisman debate. We never understood why. He didn't even lead the team in tackles. And he just kind of checked out after halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see him no more. Did you?
Yeah, I think he got tired.
That's not good. Yeah. You're playing for an SEC championship. How can you just – I was kind of disappointed in his play.
Georgia's a dangerous team in this thing, I think. Like from what we've seen in the past, losing a ball game and
look, Fickle, your next head coach at Notre Dame.
I think they're going to hire their D coordinator.
Well, he's an intern. He ain't going to be your guy.
I thought he was going to be the man.
Well, he will for the game.
No, I thought they hired him.
No, I don't know. That's going to be your guy. They're going to offer to Finkel. Ray Finkel. Laces out.
Ray Finkel, they can't nobody find him. He's at Lois Einhorn. He's a cop in Gadsden.
Laces out.
Pretty though. She's pretty. Lois Einhorn.
Coach, you mentioned some of that rat poison. Some of that good rat poison.
Good rat poison. Yummy.
Yeah, I think it just reverses now and goes back to Georgia. People are going to be counting them out. Wow, they suck. They can't beat nobody.
No, they hadn't done that yet.
Yesterday, they were terrible.
Yeah, no, they're not terrible. They just run into a team that they didn't match up good with.
I got which he does. We're not going to say his name on here. Dear friend of ours makes, and he does it to get under her skin to see what we say.
I don't pay no attention to it.
Cincinnati by 28 in the first round and 35 in the championship game.
Oh, Cincinnati's going to blow out Alabama, then Georgia.
Or Michigan, either one.
Yeah. Well, there's a 1% chance of that.
Well, there's a
It's kind
chance.
of like on Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance.
And I told him, I said, can you not just say they win it? Why do you gotta add that it ain't even close? But he loves that. He loves to see the reaction on my face when he goes, Cincinnati and Alabama, Cincinnati by 35.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're sitting there, and I'm
Bryce Young. I mean, you've had such good quarterback play there over the last.
I mean, he's sophomore, Bryce. I mean,
last night.
which obviously he's just got one more year.
Last night.
Will not stay too.
I wouldn't think he would.
That position.
Hey, make sure to tune in. Tennessee and Virginia Tech's women's volleyball there.
Akron and
Women's
Michigan.
basketball.
Akron and Michigan.
That'll be a good game.
Just flip it over to that.
Let's go watch that. Longwood.
Onward versus Iowa State here in about 15 minutes. Yeah.
10 win all-time versus AP number one most in history of the AP poll. 10th win overall number one, Dean.
Well, he's already gone down as the greatest ever. So.
He don't have nothing to prove.
Big difference last night is we knew this was going to be the case going into the
I'm going to make a bold statement here. This is crazy. Y'all going to be like, you're nuts. They win it this year, I think he retires.
explosive plays down the field because we had so much respect for Georgia's front seven. We knew it was going to be tough to run.
Kirby comes back to Bama. We've seen crazier things happen. College football.
I don't see him doing it a lot longer.
Focus on the task at hand and be the best version of themselves. How different of a challenge has it been for your coaching staff with this group, having so many new faces, quarterback and running back?
Yeah.
Coaches, new
I
faces.
never would have thought it.
No, gosh, man, they got a whole nother offense.
Never would have thought it.
Losing Najee was a bigger knock than we thought it was.
Was what?
Bigger knock. That hurt. I mean, not having Najee was elite.
Yeah, and Robinson's filled in very well.
He's good. I mean,
Trey Sanders is playing good.
yeah, if he can just get over those little bugs, man, he's great.
Let's see how many yards he had yesterday.
He probably had at least 50.
He can catch the ball too. But he's, but I do not like Alabama going into this.
7th college football playoff appearance for Alabama.
I do not like Mechie being out.
No, I don't either.
I'm sorry. I just think that's target on Alabama's back a little bit.
It is.
It
It
hurts.
has to be. Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati, top four.
Hurt his knee. If you can confirm
Cotton Bowl, Bama, Cincinnati. And your Orange Bowl is Georgia.
Sanders had 21, but I did think Sanders played.
Michigan, Georgia, playing Orange Bowl. Now those guys will be December 31st, probably at 2:30 and
Played the
6:30.
game right there.
Oh my goodness!
Played the game. And they scored.
You see him stop there when he right there, bam! It bites you right
And he
there.
may play.
No, he's done. He's gonna have ACL surgery. That's 6 weeks
Oh,
rehab.
they done that for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
it's 6 weeks rehab. Injury knee during Saturday's game. Yeah, we've read it this morning.
Oh, okay.
That's 6 weeks rehab.
Oh, yeah. No,
He'll-
done. I didn't know they came out with
He'll come back in the spring,
this close.
March, April,
They have
and
one more year.
he'll get ready to go to the draft. They'll put him in a room with some
No,
people.
he can go.
and they'll grade him and see. Nick, that's what he does. He brings in people for the kids and see, where are you at? Now, if it may benefit you to come back and play, now he'll advise him to come back. And to come back and hook up with Bryce again would be great. And it may be, a lot of the guys came back last year. Bama had a lot of seniors come back to play.
See, that's the difference. And I've argued with Kentucky people before about John Calipari and Nick Saban. And I would complain about John Calipari. And they said, well, Nick Saban does the same thing. No, he don't.
No.
Nick Saban's honest with him. Everybody that walks in John Calipari's office and says, Coach, I want to go pro, gets a pat on the back. Go ahead. Nick Saban does not do that.
Well, I don't know if Kentucky has if they do, I don't know. I would assume, for goodness sake, that he would bring in a group of people like Nick does for a draft committee and go, okay, here's where you're going to rank.
I don't think he does.
I don't know why he wouldn't.
He's had people not even get drafted that left.
Well, you can't make them stay.
Well, that's true. Too.
And it's easier to leave. It's easier to leave in basketball. You can just. Well,
I'm not down on Calipari this year because he went out and got transfers instead of.
Well, I'm just going to leave because I played a year. I feel like I'm ready. No, son, you're sitting out the desk here. You're not ready. We need another year. Wouldn't you like to come back and try to make a run this? Nah, I'm ready. My uncle and aunts took care of me my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm sick of them living in poverty and not having a car to go to work and ride the bus. What do you want me to do? I don't know. I don't. You don't.
He just don't seem to keep many around.
No.
Whereas Saban.
But if it was like football, let me say this: if it was like football where you had to play a junior sophomore year, but they won't change that. That's what hurts it because they got the choice to leave. Football don't.
No, I think they have to do that.
I don't know why they don't.
At least till they're sophomore.
Yeah, you need to come in, play two. That way you can at least get, because for a 4-year degree, you got to go 4 years, but your first two, you get all your
basics
out of the way and, all your accumulative classes, your psychologies, English, math 101, stuff like that. Then you go to your major set for your last 2 years. That just coming in and if you're going to do that, heck, you might as well just be Kobe or LeBron.
I don't see the point.
Just go high school to let's go high school to NBA.
That's how you do it in middle school. But they have to do it in middle school.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on 8th grade team, and okay. Well, you got to move on to the 9th grade team. That's almost what that's like.
We're almost an hour in. We're curious still to see.
I'm gonna see these other bowl matchups.
Fiesta, Peach, Rose, Sugar.
Alabama upsetting Gonzaga yesterday.
I know. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. I shared the news last night. Hey, Crimson Tide's rolling.
91 points, got 48 from Shackelford and the freshman from Calhoun High School and J.D. Davidson.
Yeah,
20 points.
Against Gonzaga.
So
now this is a prominent team. This is not some fly-by-night. Now, how good are they before we...
No,
I don't know.
I mean, they've only been beat.
But how many... It's so early. Did they bring back a lot from last year?
They brought back some, all but the point guard. And no, 2. They lost 2.
Well...
That big man's back. They got the best freshman in the United States.
I'd have to go because we didn't watch the game at all.
In America. I mean, college.
I'd like to go back and watch it and see.
Well, I don't think anybody watched it. I mean, it's obviously a big matchup, but you got it coming on right after the SEC championship. So no offense to basketball, but the last thing on anybody's mind was flip this off and put it on Alabama Gonzaga.
There's some diehard basketball fans.
Oh, yeah, there is. But J.D. Davidson, man, wow. I knew he was good.
20 points against Gonzaga.
In his 8th game of his career.
The Bearcats.
And he played at a small school in Alabama. Now, Calhoun's not no 6 or 7 8.
Now, they lost a close one last year to Georgia in the Peach Bowl. They played it, it was a good game, though, last year.
It was a very good game. Georgia did have a lot of guys opt out.
Yeah.
They did. But that's part of it.
I thought Houston would play them closer, honestly.
They've been hammering folks. Seems like they didn't hammer the people they were supposed to and did hammer the people they weren't supposed to.
Well, hats off to Cincinnati and Coach Finkel for going out and scheduling
I don't see any argument possible.
For scheduling Notre Dame. Houston could have done. Why didn't they schedule Oklahoma or a top?
Yeah.
It could have.
I don't see anybody having an argument against Cincinnati.
I ain't heard nobody.
Well, Todd McShay said.
Put in Baylor.
He said put in Ohio State over Cincinnati.
Oh,
You know what his argument was? They couldn't beat Ohio State. And they may not could, but
well,
I'm sorry.
well, we can't do that though. Then we're going to say Cincinnati should be in because I don't think they can beat. They don't think they can beat Georgia.
Yeah, okay. So let's just put the four best. Let's just put Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and then whoever else is at large in it every year.
Yeah, that's you might, but
Well, Alabama's lost 4 ball games. But do you really think, and I hate that argument, somebody will come up to me, Alabama's 9-4. Yeah, but do you really think TCU could beat Alabama?
yeah,
It don't matter.
yeah,
I'm getting fired up.
they could. I mean, you would think they could.
Well, yeah, but
Jeez.
let's say if they couldn't, it don't matter.
An undefeated TCU.
Watching, from afar this year at times.
Well, the committee should have never made that comment. We want the 4 best teams. Because they give fans
But
like that, who Todd McShay, who's very respected, but why did you say something
we
like
know
that?
it's going to be incredible.
Ohio State couldn't beat. Cincinnati couldn't beat Ohio State, so Ohio State needs to go in.
Well,
Well, they're 3-8.
we might as well put Ole Miss in. I think they could play any of them pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
you won't get that
saying.
technical. You can't get that.
Or I think Arkansas plays a lot of those teams a good half with a healthy team. If Jefferson's healthy, I like Arkansas, guys. We already said our
We're
part.
gonna get a good ball.
Pittman's the coach of the year for us, and they're saying Harbaugh is because he 2003 since their
Mark got the SEC Coach of the Year.
first outright, But I like Pittman. Now you finally made it. Now what are you going to do? That's what he's asking him here. Hey, how you going to keep them focused in on and not listen to all the rat poison that? Yeah, it's your first time being in it.
You're gonna get killed.
You're just focusing on being in it. Like a lot of these high school teams around here that make the first time you go to state. Hey, first time Cedar Bluff rolls in Legion Field down there, played Sweetwater.
Mm-hmm.
They're just tickled to death to be there. They wasn't ready to play football. And Sweetwater played their first state game in 77, won at 78.
Yeah. Yeah, you run into it. I mean, you run into it.
You've got a win like this.
Michigan will face Georgia in the Orange Bowl, people announcing there.
Wish they would.
Notre Dame 5, Ohio State 6 in the news rankings.
Are they fixing to tell us the other ball?
I don't know. They're just going to
We're
talk.
not going to get off here yet.
Well, they got all the coaches to talk to. They're going to talk to them. Coaches moving around. What about Kelly coming on down to LSU? Go Tigers.
I like it.
He's going to really have some talent to play with now. He'll have an ace in his hand. In Notre Dame, you don't really have an ace in your deck up there. I mean, I know when everybody says, oh, they're a prominent historical program. Yeah, but look where it's at. It's in South Bend, Indiana. Guys, it's this time of year right now, you go on a visit up there, well, there's about a foot of snow. I know Touchdown Jesus is there, and it's a beautiful place. And it's historically known. I mean, the Rudy, the movie, I mean, it's great. I mean, who don't? It's USC. It's Alabama. It's Penn State. But this is 2021. Kids want to go where it's nice and pretty and there's pretty girls.
They do not. 30 years ago, they didn't. That's the difference.
Nebraska.
How did Nebraska get everybody back in the 80s? Because kids didn't care where they went back then.
They just want to go win.
Yeah.
He's playing for the best coach in the
Now
country.
You got kids. Oh, I want to go somewhere where it's nice.
Well, they want to go win now. And the South has so much talent. But let me say this. I was thinking about this morning. Went to the gym, did Bible study, and I'm thinking, and I think about, we're going to do the show, and I'm thinking about stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Here's something wild to put out there for you. What do you think about, now just think about this. All these teams here in the top 6, some of their main players are from California or Arizona. Okay, now this is what I just said. A lot of these top players from these top 6 teams are from West. So what if Riley can go out there and wrangle these guys? Just think if Alabama, Michigan's, Cincinnati's, Georgia's don't have some of these top players from out West. They don't come.
Yeah, it could hurt. Well, let's just look yesterday. You got the arguably the three of the top 10 players in the ball game yesterday, which would be Bryce Young, Brock Bowers. Would you agree?
Oh God, the wife, she was just,
and
she couldn't take it.
Henry Toa. They're all from California.
And last year, Najee Harris, I mean, we'll throw him in there.
Now, where was Mac Jones from? I know that's a crazy question. But where was he from?
I don't know.
Florida, I think. I think he was from Florida.
But never really studied that.
Yeah, he could have started at Kentucky for 4 years, but chose to stay at Alabama, and obviously it worked out.
So, what do you guys think? Y'all watching this live? You can comment on here.
We're going to lose the West Coast.
We got a few people watching. Yeah, we've always, the comment that I just made is, can Kelly, bringing up the topic of Kelly being LSU and the in-state players coming from LSU, there's so many dudes there, but can Riley wrangle those kids to stay out west? And if he does, because the comment was, well, Brian Kelly should be a little better because he's going to have an ace up his sleeve coaching in the SEC. Mm-hmm. But is the talent, because the talent's so rich here? Now, I'm not saying the talent's gone away from here and it's not rich anymore in the South, but I mean, what if?
Well, if he can get all those in-state, because Louisiana has the best players per capita. That don't mean they have the best players, but for their size, they have the most talent. So, what if he gets all of those cats? If he keeps those here, I'm sure he can make a good stand. But with all those West Coast players that are playing out here, if they were not playing here, is the best talent in the SEC as of the last year or two, or right now, yes,
or
is it going to shift?
It already has. It's already been in the West. We've just got them out here. They've been out there in that pasture, and we've brought them here. But the pasture where they come from is really greener.
Really, yeah.
But it's that conference fell apart because USC coaching discrepancies, and they hadn't been relevant in 10, 15 years. And, well, number one reason, because the whole states fell apart politically because of politics and people playing games. So people has moved and went to Texas, for example. I know people, I've seen a podcast today, a family of a high school running back. He's like number something in the nation. Well, they've moved up north. So he's playing high school up there.
I coached with a young man that went to California over Thanksgiving break last year. He had a cousin out there. And he come back. Obviously, that's in the thick of football season, of college football. And his comment to me was that those people out there could absolutely care less.
About football?
Yes.
Well, I could see that.
They play, but it's just a game. I mean, and there's no passion. I mean, and that's just kind of what. Hey, dang it, Manchester United beating Crystal Palace.
Well, darn.
Is that Crystal Palace over there on going to Hope Bluff?
That's on Broad Street. We just go there and get burgers in Gadsden.
Now that's White Palace.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Crystal Palace, the old nightclub?
Oh, yeah.
Sparkles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, ball player.
Ball player.
Yeah, I've had one over there.
I didn't know they had a soccer team.
They're probably pretty good, obviously.
That place burned.
Yeah.
And boy, that was, I'm going to go on and say it, and I can say this, it's our ship. It was not in a good spot.
Yeah, I know.
Turn down a dirt road and you go back up in the middle of nowhere. If you had trouble there.
Yeah, it's okay. You're okay, but police coming, no.
Yeah, if you need help.
Yeah, no, you get no help. You just have to self-contain it. That's what they did. They just worked on it themselves.
Yeah.
Can anybody not see Alabama at number one? But then I watched Michigan take care of business in the Big Ten, and I thought about the 1-2 punch they provided down the stretch. And for me, it was very close. And Michigan's performance against Ohio State, backed up against Iowa, thinking about Alabama having 5 games in the SEC decided by 1 score, the fact they needed 4 overtimes to beat an Auburn team that had limped into that game and were 1 play from losing that game maybe 10 or 12 times. I view a multiple overtime win differently than I do a regular win. And for me, I just give a slight edge to Michigan. I'm not about matchup manipulation. I think you just have to rank the top 4, not worry about a potential rematch in the semis or the championship game. And I would have given Michigan a slight edge over Bama, but I thought a lot about it.
Well, he's saying that because of some of Alabama's struggles during the season, like with Florida, with losing to A&M, LSU going down to the wire and going to overtime with Auburn is why he is saying this. Well, I mean, he's got a right to that. He's saying Michigan didn't struggle like that.
Well,
and they didn't.
We'll say it again here. Bama Cincinnati's going to match up in the Cotton Bowl December 31st as well. Same day, Michigan will play Georgia in the Orange Bowl. So we're excited about those matchups. It's about what we thought.
Let's wait to hear, man, and see if we get some. I want to see what some of these other bowls are. Come on, guys. How long is this like? Still have it on. It's 6:30. He should be coming up.
Yeah, they've done talked to all the coaches. I don't know why we could keep going on. Because
there's no need in arguing.
I don't know how long the camera's going to stay on.
Now, the only argument some people could have would be like, oh, why is Georgia 3 and Cincinnati not 3? But you might not hear that much.
Because they don't want to see Georgia play Alabama.
Again, right. That's what I heard.
And
Not first.
they're not a Power 5 school. Just if you go undefeated, we're going to put you in at 4 and give you a shot at the number 1 team. Good luck with Alabama.
And this is the first non-Power 5 to ever make it, right?
Yeah. So good luck playing the greatest football team in the last,
You can pull off the upset of the century.
10, 15 years. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
If they would have to come in and establish a run game to beat Alabama. We mentioned some of the scores and stats a while ago when they played Houston and throughout the year. And as this goes on, of course, our next show, we'll dig in more to these games and the players for these teams, and we'll try to analyze and, hey, how can Cincinnati beat Alabama? And then does Michigan play Georgia close in the Orange Bowl? How's this going to work? Haskins and the defensive line of Georgia, how they match up? I think they match up kind of the same.
Yeah. But McNamara is not a Bryce Young. Michigan's quarterback is not. Georgia's good against the run.
Yeah.
Very good. And that's not just blowing smoke. They're good against the run.
Kirby Smart. Jim Harbaugh.
I mean, Alabama rushed for 115 yards yesterday. That's not an unbelievable amount of rushing yards.
No. But it's been better.
For 421.
But it's better than what we've had.
Yeah.
Major improvement from the last couple of games.
Well, it's just been Robinson most of the year, Robinson.
I'm glad he played last night, man. How big was it him playing?
Him and Mechie out. Well, I say I wouldn't think they'd win. Who knows? Sometimes I say I joke around with Matt and them. I say I think they could go out and all of us guys around here could go in and they'd be fine. I mean, come on, man. Jahoy Brooks caught his game-winning touchdown pass against Auburn. That was his 4th catch of the year. He caught 5 balls. Just almost like whoever they put in. What about Devontae Smith beating him? That was his 6th catch of the year.
Yeah, and he turns out to win the Heisman later.
Yeah, and does good for the Eagle.
Yeah.
He's not as, which he is just a freshman. He's not dominant, but he's very solid.
He has pull away speed. They run a lot of those little quick crossings and stuff like that. I like to see.
But they're investing in him, and he's not going anywhere.
Where is JoJo Earl? Has anybody got an answer to that?
Yeah, where happened to JoJo Earl? Punt returner, sometime receiver. We hadn't seen him. He must be out for the year.
He must have got hurt or something. Bolden's been taking the punts.
But I do want to say, me and Matt talked about this yesterday. I think our safeties are playing excellent. Battle and Helms.
Yes.
I mean, I think Helms led the team in tackles yesterday. Battle had a pick 6.
He's really come on past few weeks, Helms.
I mean, Matt's not a huge Job fan, but he's not playing bad.
He just gets turned around.
Where's Malachi Moore?
I ain't seen him.
Kool-Aid's playing all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if it's an injury thing or...
Maybe, I'm sure it is.
Or is it just he's better?
There's no way. I mean...
Well, you've seen McKinstry. I mean, you've seen how he played in the Iron Bowl.
He played a lot, yeah.
He played yesterday. He played a lot. Good DB.
Of course, Toa'Toa's gotten better. Christian Harris is...
Toa is so spotty. He's just... He'll have, like, the first play of the game just totally reads it wrong side. They bust a 12-yard run.
I didn't see him do much wrong yesterday.
Next play, he reads it, but he don't get his head around on the ball. And the guy gets loose. He don't bring his arms in the tackle. And then, like, the next 3 or 4 plays, they throw it, and then the next play just stuffs the guy. And already stretches. They try to stretch the end. He runs into the corner, just blast him knocks him out of bounds.
I think Christian Harris has picked it up. He's playing very good.
Very consistent.
I wonder where he was earlier in the year, but not lately.
That's a good time to get hot.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was doing fine at the end of the year. He's just being overshadowed by Anderson.
Well, he's good. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's up to over, I think he made his 30th tackle behind the line last night. That's including that.
30, 31, yeah.
30, 31 tackles behind the line.
That's a lot. Talking about Derek Thomas type numbers, almost now, not quite as much.
He will be, this is my opinion, the number 1 pick. Well, they're big on taking quarterbacks now. But he could possibly be the number 1 pick in the draft next year. Not this coming year, but the next.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
Young's coming out then too. So.
Yeah, he'll probably be. Now he may. I don't see him being a Tua where he's great for a few games and he's hurt and he's out and he's just super spotty, super spotty. Let's see, what are they saying here? I know why, guys. Why are we holding this up?
I drag this out now. I'll give ESPN credit.
Yeah, but I don't have a power cord plugged in my camera. I could just run it because it's gonna cut off in a minute. We're just gonna be no picture, sound, but they ain't gonna be no picture. So I thought we would do an hour, and they would tell the 5, 6 quick, and then we would go on. But I know this gonna talk. Now we're gonna talk to Bear. Well, he's walked right into a job there. He was just an
expert,
a light and camera guy on the set, and then they got to where they'd ask him, and he started guessing around a lot of games. So now he's become part of. They bring him in and talk to him. Game day, everywhere.
Oh, he's all over.
Now he's been around it his whole life. Okay,
he don't say crazy stuff.
No.
Have y'all noticed that the people that's the less nutty make it the farthest?
Yeah.
You see Danny Cannell on there?
No,
you see Feinbaum on there?
Well, he's got his own. He works for SEC. He ain't gonna be on ESPN.
Well, but
Joel Klatt, me and him disagree a lot.
I mean, but Danny Cannell could be sitting right where Jesse Palmer is, but he's not.
It's 13 and a half, I think, which is what Jesse Congratulations. That's a little. It's an interesting house.
They've already got.
Golly.
Work quick, don't they?
They sent it as soon as it come up. Bama's going to be favored, guys, against Cincinnati at 13 and a half.
How about that? I mean, I would take, me personally, if I made a bet on it, I would take Alabama.
I think it will move up.
Oh, see, he's saying it's moving up.
Well, by the way, you want to do a little odds comparison to see?
Me personally, I would make it like 17.
Alabama is a 14-point favorite in Gainesville over Florida. At a 15-point.
Yeah, 20 points on Auburn.
So that's kind of the area you're talking about.
But look at this total here.
49. That's a over/under.
Yeah. How many total points scored for the game?
I'll say it. Me personally, I would put it higher than that.
13 of them have been totally
That's
maybe 57.
That's making me feel like, like 36 to.
I mean, that's 34.
36, 20
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 36, 21.
I don't know how good Cincinnati's defense is, but they seem to not think that Alabama can just absolutely. I mean, Alabama scored 41 against Georgia, but they did only score 24 against Auburn, 20 against LSU. So maybe they're factoring that in.
I'm going to say Georgia minus 3.5.
I got 5.
I go 3.5.
We're talking about Georgia, Michigan cover.
3.5. Same, I'd say 49 on the over/under. What do you think? 40.
Because of the conference, I would.
42 maybe.
I do Georgia 6 because of the conference, because of how poorly they've showed in bowl games over the years.
Right.
Now, if you're basing it on right now, 3.5.
Yeah, I couldn't go 5.
But we're talking about Iowa and Ohio State.
7.5.
Yeah, I think they're basing that on more of history of how the conferences have played each other than right now.
That's crazy. That'll definitely go down. I agree with the total points, 43. I agree with that 100%.
Okay, Bear. Right now, we're on the game day set. Pressure's on. They're telling you got to make the pick. You got to put that Bear logo on the board, one side.
Who's Bear picking?
Michigan, Georgia. Are you taking the number, or are you laying the points?
I think I'm laying it because I like the matchup with Georgia. I think yesterday was a bad matchup because Alabama's at a smash mouth run.
I think Georgia wins it.
That's what Michigan's strength is, and
That's what Georgia's defensive strength is.
I think last night was going to be a blowout regardless. I don't think it's a great.
Well, they got a long time to prepare.
Well, I mean, Georgia, Bryce Young, he was the difference in that ball.
See, Alabama had like a day or two to prepare for Auburn because of the day and the game before, and you know.
Yeah, this isn't a normal.
New Year's Six bowls and stuff. Rest of the top 25 revealed at 1:30. That's an hour. Yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
Camera B
Yeah,
day.
we tried.
We'll watch it and maybe we'll come back on. I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I'll watch it. I gotta go do a Walmart pickup.
There you go.
Why would they not do it now?
Cotton Bowl, you got an Alabama favorite 13.5 for Cincinnati and over and under 49. Orange Bowl, number 2 Michigan versus number 3 Georgia. Georgia favored 7.5, 43 over and under. Those games will take place on December 31st.
I can't believe they didn't not doing it now.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll cut it loose and I may come back on later and shoot it. I'll sit here and watch it and yeah, that'll be cool.
Wow.
The Michigan matchup against Georgia. You know that Michigan is ready to play.
Cincinnati and that Crimson Factor that we've talked about last week, it's got to play a part in this.
Oh, I would think so.
Finkel's got to be, how do you calm these guys down? They're just so excited they've made it. And then, like,
Yeah, then you got to get them ground.
you got to play Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But they may play dumb luck like Utah did that year in the Sugar Bowl and just think, well, I mean, what do we got to lose? I mean, what if we just go here and play a good game and they slashed Bama up and down the field on some wild pass play? He is a good play caller now. Finkel's
Ritter's a good quarterback. Isn't it Desmond Ritter?
yeah.
Desmond Ritter.
He had he threw for 190 against Houston, 3 touchdowns. Forward
Runs the ball a lot too, though.
Forward.
Don't worry about him on that.
187 for forward rushing for Cincinnati.
Jerome Ford.
Well, guys, you know what the matchups are. We'll cut it loose and we're gonna go stretch and make a grocery run, and I'll come back in an hour. If you want to come back, Dean, come back if he wants to, and I'm gonna watch it here, and I'll turn it back on. Charge battery up a little bit. So, well, hey, our first
They come back on for a little bit.
Our first YouTube live was partially successful, I guess. We come on here and had a few bugs work out the first, but that's what happens with live, and we've been doing live for a long time, so we just roll with it.
Yeah.
You're going to have things go on, and man, we're happy that we even had one person. If we had one watching, this is just what we're going to be doing. We're going to be transferring over this pretty soon. I mean, it's easy. It's free. Go over and hit the subscribe button. It's not real hard. So, yeah, y'all hang in there.
I think I am. I'm going to go do what I got to do.
Yeah, I need to.
Pickup's not till 2. So I can come. We can discuss this from 1:30 to 2. Surely to God, they'll show 7 bowl game matchups in 30 minutes.
No, I bet they don't. I bet they do about 3. Because they're going to talk about every one of them. They're going to talk, and they may talk to every coach from.
Oh, good gosh. Well, we'll see.
It'll be from 1:30 to.
But,
I bet it'll take them an hour to go through. Well, I mean, there's only January 1 and 6
I
games.
can at least come back and we can
There's only a couple of games.
analyze the New Year's 6, and then I may have to take off, but I'll be back.
Okay. All right, guys, we appreciate you. Keep your heads here clear, odds always. Keep your hearts full of God. We'll be back in just a little bit, and we'll just kind of stand by there, and we'll be back in a little bit. Give us about an hour. If you want to come back on with us, great. I'll advertise it up on Facebook, and maybe we may get more people on the next time. But people don't know that we're not going to be on tonight. But I've put it out there a lot.
Right.
I said we'd be on at 11, 15, or 11:30 or 12, and
Well,
it come on at 11. So
come on 11, and they didn't do any but 2 bowls.
All right, guys.
Wow.